Welcome to the Accelerated Investor Podcast with Josh Cantwell. If you love entrepreneurship and investing in real estate, then you are in the right place. Josh is the CEO of Freeland Ventures Real Estate Private Equity and has personally invested in well over 500 properties all across the country. He's also made hundreds of private lender loans and owns over 1,000 units of apartments. Josh is an expert at raising private money for deals, and he prides himself on never having had a boss in his entire adult life. Josh and his team also mentor investors and entrepreneurs from all over the world. He doesn't dream about doing deals. He actually does them, and so do his listeners and students. Now sit back, listen, learn, and accelerate your business, your life, and your investing with the Accelerated Investor Podcast.
So, hey, welcome back. Hey, I hope you're enjoying this. We've gotten tons of comments and questions inside of the Accelerated Investor Podcast and ratings and reviews. And it seems like people are really eating this up, this 9-part series, the 9 things that successful and productive people, the 9 things that they refuse to do and the things that they're focused on. And I was able to create this list just, observing my own friends, my own entrepreneurial buddies, successful real estate investors, successful market investors, guys in my mastermind group that I associate with, other people in mastermind groups that I've paid for to be a part of. And this next one is really simple, but very, very, very powerful. And so characteristic number 7 of successful and productive people is they refuse to believe that what they want is impossible. They believe that everything is possible. And so it's the simple belief. It's the simple, they tell themselves every single day that what I want to do is possible. I've just got to find the right people. I've got to be resourceful. I've got to go find the right connections. And they search and they search and they search and they execute and execute and execute until that what they want becomes a reality. Okay? So when we're looking at what we want, like a lot of times it's just a matter of, do we believe that what we want is possible? And if we believe it's possible, we're just never going to stop until it actually happens. Okay? Or we say, you know what I really want? The car that I want, the relationship that I want, the house that I want, the second house that I want, the business that I want. That's never going to happen. That's impossible. And whatever you tell yourself on a daily basis, it's going to create habits, it's going to create regular recurring actions, and that's what's going to become reality. So if you tell yourself that it's possible, your body and your business and your team and your staff is all going to be rallying around that possibility. And the truth is that most of the time, not most of the time, every single time that something's been accomplished in business, in your investments, as a leader, every single time that you accomplish something new, you've never done it before. Okay? So it's just the belief that it's possible that leads to the actual accomplishment. If you tell yourself that it is impossible, and again, enormously and productive, successful people, they never say it's impossible, because it's impossible, it'll never happen. Like nobody's ever successful saying like, I'll never do this. I'll never create a successful marketing agency. I'll never create successful real estate investments. I'll never be a great CEO. That's impossible. And then somehow, some way, it happens. That never, ever happens. Okay? The only way that it actually happens is if they tell themselves that it is possible. And they rally their team, they rally their staff, they rally their family, their friends, their spouse, their significant other. They rally them together and say, here's what we're going to try to accomplish. This may seem impossible, but we're going to do it. It's possible for us. It's possible for me. It's possible we can do this. And you may not even know exactly how you're going to do it. The most successful and productive people that I've met, they tell themselves like, this is possible. This is what I want. This is the business that I want to create. It's possible. And then they run into all kind of obstacles. I'll give you an example. My friend Vinny Fisher is the CEO of a company called Fully Accountable. He also runs a mastermind group that I'm in called Total CEO. And Fully Accountable, Vinny was in business with a friend, and Vinny was a very successful, young, hotshot attorney. And Vinny wanted to create a business where he actually ran a company of staff accountants. And why Vinny would think about this as an attorney, like why would he want to create a business that essentially did staff accounting for people? So he launched the business. He has this big vision for how they're going to create this amazing company. And he has the belief that it's possible. And then Vin runs into all kind of issues with their clients. And he says, well, this client is having trouble. I can't do the accounting. There's logistical problems in getting over all the expenses, all the P&Ls, all the balance sheets, all the income. There's manual, there's checks, there's big deposits, there's online e-commerce deposits. There's all these things going on. All of a sudden, he's got clients that are not happy and things that aren't going right, and he's up late and he's losing sleep and he's thinking like, how am I going to create a better business? But he kept telling himself, it's possible. This is a business I think that people need. And Vinny kept telling me, and I actually became a client of Vinny's. Like we actually became a client of his, and he was doing some of our staff accounting. And my CFO, Roberto, said, you know what, this relationship is just not working out. It's creating more work for me, not less. So we actually stopped using Vinny's service. Even though he's a friend of mine, we stopped using his service. But Vinny kept telling himself, like, I can make this better. It is possible. I can create a bigger, better business. Something's going to work out. And so Vinny said to himself, like, what if we only worked with e-com companies? What if we only worked with companies that did all their sales through merchant processing, where we can see all the income coming in through their e-commerce merchant account? So the merchant account is processing all the payments. We can see that in real time. We can log into the software, whatever shopping cart you use, you log into the software and you can see the digital currency, the digital payments coming in and all the money being dumped into the bank account. And he thinks, you know what? It's a lot easier to run this business if we just work with e-com companies. And they did that. They made that optimization. And then the business that he wanted becomes more of a possibility. And then he says, you know what? The businesses that we want to work with, our actual client is not the CEO. The client that we want to go after is the CFO. The CFO of the business. The CFO is the one who we want to work with because we want to make the CFO's job super easy. We want to do all the staff accounting that the CFO can get all this data in real time. We can do all their QuickBooks, their profit and loss, their balance sheets, all their expenses, pay all their bills, do all that stuff for the CFO. We want to make it super easy. And so Vinny could have given up on his dream of running this business, but he believed, I just got to make an optimization. I know it's possible. I know that this can work out. I've just got to figure it out. And the market was telling him, let's just work with e-com companies and let's work with CFOs. And now Vinny's built an amazing business where he's rallying his company. They're making profits. They're having a big business. It's doing really, really well. And his dream of having this business, and Vinny's owned multiple 7, 8, 8-figure businesses. This business now is his baby, and he loves it, and he's building it, and he believes that it can provide him everything he's ever wanted. It's possible, but he easily could have given up when he launched the business and nobody wanted his services. He launched the business and he was working with the wrong client. He was launched the business and he's working with the wrong avatar, the wrong customer, the wrong person. He didn't know that the specific person he should be using and going after was the CFO. Okay? So enormously productive and successful people, they just believe. It's not for like any specific reason. A lot of them have had success. A lot of them have had massive failures. They just believe that whatever they want is possible. They just tell themselves, even in the face of all their friends, all their family, everybody telling them, you're a total jackass. This is never going to work for you. But as long as they listen to their staff, they listen to the market, they get feedback, and they tell themselves, yeah, this is possible. I might have to make some tweaks. The business that I end up with, or the investment that I end up with, or the staff that I end up with may not be the staff that I started with. I have to make some tweaks, but they believe this is going to lead me to the next thing. This is possible. And so successful and productive people refuse to believe that what they want is impossible. If you want success, you want to be productive, you want to be a better salesperson, a better parent, a better business owner, a better CEO, a better investor, whatever you believe, you have to believe that it's a possibility. And keep telling yourself, we can do this, we can do this, I know we can do this, we'll find a way, we'll find the resources, we'll find the money, we'll find the investor, we'll find the customers. It's going to happen. And eventually, it does. Plain and simple. And so the friends, and the entrepreneurs that I've been around, I'm super excited. This is, one of the biggest things that I learned from them is they have massive challenges, but they continue to tell themselves, like, we're going to build this thing. It's going to work. It's possible. You've got to have that core belief or it's never going to happen for you. So I hope you enjoyed this conversation. I really enjoyed sharing that with you. And that leads me to the next. So on a personal level, this next characteristic number 8, is to refuse to become overwhelmed. And, this next one, for me, has a lot of personal meaning. And so I'm going to tell you a little bit about my experience with overwhelm. I'm going to tell you about my experience with being, committing to too much and having too many things going on, and how enormously successful and productive people refuse to become overwhelmed. They stay organized, they stay focused, and they don't lose themselves in the complexity of overwhelm. So I hope you enjoy that episode. Join me on that one next.
You've been listening to Josh Cantwell and the Accelerated Investor Podcast. Leave a comment on our iTunes channel and let us know what you want to learn next or who you'd like Josh to interview. While you're there, give us a 5-star rating and make sure to subscribe so you can be the first to hear new episodes. Follow Josh Cantwell and his companies, Strategic Real Estate Coach and Freeland Ventures, on all social media platforms now, and stay up to date on new training and investment opportunities to start your journey toward the lifestyle you've always dreamed of. Apply for coaching at joshcantwellcoaching.com.